Dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, konnichiwa, hola, bonjour, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you today? Hope you're well and welcome to Ken at 10, another episode for you. Here in Norbury, Southwest 16, we're James Alexander Estate Agents. It's Ken at 10 because I'm Ken, and it's 10, or just about actually. A bit tardy today, we're 2 minutes late. Sorry about that, a few technical difficulties, but we are going to improve that. Sorry about the quality of the video, by the way. Another technical difficulty, but we are going to improve that too. We're looking to set up a purpose-built little studio out the back now. It's becoming a more permanent thing. And thank you to all of those that have actually called us as a result of Ken at 10. It's been amazing and absolutely love it. So, if you're thinking of selling, do remember we're here for you. That's what we do. We're James Alexander Estate Agents. We broadcast daily selling and letting properties right here in Southwest London. Love talking about it, love doing it and doing it properly, honestly and straightforwardly. And don't just take my word for it. Google us. Google James Alexander, look at the feedback, and you'll see a lot of people have said a lot of nice things because we're nice people. So how are you? I hope you're well. Now, let's talk about the property news. We're based in Norbury, which is between Streatham to the north and Croydon to the south. And we talk about things locally. As far as the local market's concerned, it's still really busy, actually. There's lots of people looking around, especially around sort of Thornton Heath, Norbury, Streatham. Too much demand, not enough supply. We've literally got people that are saying, look, if you could just find us one in this road or this road, and the supply is so low. We're very much in a situation where when the right properties come up, and by right properties, most people seem to be looking right now for 3-bedroom houses. That seems to be the sweet spot. And anything 3 bedrooms in the local area seems to be really popular. The big problem I'm finding, as I've mentioned before, is people are just struggling to find something. When they've sold, they're struggling to find on from that. And if you haven't yet seen it, by the way, don't forget to have a look at or listen to our podcast. Just put the details on the bottom there. Last week, we had a lovely chat with Clement Akusi and his property journey. Really interesting, right from childhood. We talked about his life as a young man with Nigerian heritage right the way up to the current day and his success in property. He was great. And if you have a property story, by the way, that you'd like to relate, be it success, failure, or somewhere in between, we'd love to talk to you, and perhaps we get you on the podcast to chat about that. Now, let's talk about the market, what's going on. First of all, let's look at the headlines. The Daily Express, Daily Mail and London Evening Standard are carrying this one. It's UK housing market on track to be the busiest since 2007. This is according to Zoopla. Its house price index shows strong buyer demand, with the average value of the homes in the country up to 240,000 from 200,000 5 years ago. In the past 12 months alone, UK prices have risen by an average of 15,500, with the South East and South West recording growth of more than 22,000. The annual rate for growth of all homes is 6.9%, and that's up from 3.5% in October 2020, and a slight drop in the 7% increase recorded in August and September 2021. There's also a slowdown in the average pace of growth, down from 2.8% in July to 1.2% in October. Regionally, Wales has shown the highest rate of house price rises at 10%, followed by the northwest of England, Liverpool, Manchester and Sheffield, 10.6, 8.7, 7.9 respectively. The stock of new homes for sale is down by more than 40% on the 5-year average, but the number of houses for sale is down by more than 50%. And therein, folks, lies the key. There is an undersupply of property, and that is why prices are being driven right now. Interesting article in the Telegraph as well. Higher stamp duty plan for non-green homes. Buyers purchasing new homes with low energy efficiency ratings could pay thousands of pounds in extra stamp duty under proposals by the government. The Energy Efficiency Infrastructure Group has drawn up plans for a green stamp duty system based around an energy efficiency benchmark, such as energy performance certificate. On the either side of this benchmark, there would be tax incentives and disincentives, with a typical 1 percentage point stamp duty adjustment in either direction. Oh, that's controversial, isn't it? Imagine if you're struggling and you can't afford to properly, insulate your home, and then all of a sudden your buyer's slammed with a bigger tax bill, then they're going to want that off the price, aren't they? That could be a real interesting point. Under the new rating, an EPC with a band A for 250 would save 1,653 in stamp duty. Buyers of properties with the worst energy efficiency, such as old large houses, would incur a nearly 3 percentage point surcharge. Ouch. Interesting. Should drive people in the right direction, but I'm not sure it'll be particularly welcomed by sellers of large houses. We'll see. Former PM, do you remember Theresa May? Yeah, vaguely. She was Prime Minister once, wasn't she? Weird times that, wasn't it? Former Prime Minister Theresa May has urged Boris Johnson to address the hidden housing crisis of rising rents in the private sector, with speech marks exorbitant housing costs accounting for a growing share of people's income and exacting a huge toll on our nation's collective health, well-being and finances. Writing in a foreword for the report for the Centre for Social Justice think tank, she notes the data showing that more than 2/3 of renters in lower income brackets spend more than 30% of their disposable income on rent, while nearly 2 million couples have abandoned or delayed payment plans to start a family because of the cost of housing. Well, it is an issue, and we're not building any homes for rental anymore. They think the private sector are going to come in like the guardian angel and solve this problem. And even with plans in place and all of these new build to rent developments coming on, it's too little. It's just too little. And it's why property is such an important part of your mix if you're looking for investments for the future, because in the end, it's all about supply and demand, as we've already said. And at the moment, there's a lack of supply and sale, but also, guess what? Even less on rental. So that means that landlords have their pick of the bunch when it comes to tenants, and also can dictate their rents to a degree. And this is pressing rents hard. So it is a problem. I'm not sure rent controls are the answer. The problem with rent controls is that when you control rents, at some point you have to build in inflationary rises. Otherwise, no one's ever going to buy. And also you run the risk of alienating landlords. And if you do that, then they don't buy properties, or they sell the ones they have. And if that happens, you exacerbate the housing crisis, and that could be a big problem in the future. And especially now with the really buoyant market, those that are in the rental sector, if they're sitting on tidy profits, might decide to quit, and that would be a huge problem. So I think there's a really delicate balance there that needs to be watched carefully. Miami has topped the prime property price forecast. House prices in Miami are expected to rise by 10% next year amid a revival in global demand for property, double that of New York at 3% and higher than London in Knight Frank's prime global forecast. That's interesting. Miami seems to be the new Silicon Valley, doesn't it? Everything seems to be going on out there. Lots happening out there, especially with the Bitcoin sectors apparently. And interesting to see that. Apart from that, we've got a busy day ahead. Lots going on in the office. Always a busy time for us chasing feedback and viewings from last week, dealing with offers from both tenants and from the buyers in the housing market. And at the moment, still struggling for supply, as I've said. So if you're thinking of selling and you don't need to find somewhere to go, it could be a really good time for you to consider it, even though it might seem counterintuitive with the weather getting colder and heading towards Christmas. There are enough buyers out there that it will move if you present it properly. And remember the 3 Ps, we've spoken about it many times: price, presentation and promotion. Get those 3 right and your property will get the best possible price. And if you want to get the best possible price, you should be speaking to us. Do give us a call. We're always here to help you. And say thanks once more for all of those of you that have reached out via the show. It's been really encouraging to know that people are out there watching and that this really does work. A lot of agents do mock it, but you know what? They're not trying it. And when they do, they might catch up one of these days and wake up. But until then, Ken at 10 is here to take the business. Thanks very much for watching. We'll be back same time tomorrow with another show. Until then, stay safe, look after your family and friends. Ciao.